Today's Mishnah learning is sponsored by Golda Zaks in memory of her brother, Bag Margolis, Reuven Moshe ben Chana Rachel. To dedicate a day of learning, go to mishnah.co/support or send me an email.
Sanhedrin Perek Daled, Mishnah Gimel, third Mishnah in the fourth chapter of Masechet Sanhedrin. Sanhedrin Haita Kechatzi Goren Agula. Any Sanhedrin, okay, it's not only talking about the Sanhedrin, but every court was like Chatzi Goren, half of a Goren, where a grain housing, Agula, around grain. It was a half circle. Why? Kadei Shiu Ro'in Zeh, so that they would all see each other. Okay, they have to be like each other. So it says Sararech Agan Hasoar. Sararech, your Sarara, okay? The Sanhedrin is Agan HaSohar. Agan Zo is Sohar is Yareach. Sihara is the moon. So we learn from there that the court would sit in a half circle so they'd all see each other, not in a line. Very interesting that they had to the interpersonal they have to interact with one another. And it's not a full circle. Why is it not a full circle? Because people have to go in and talk to them. They have to see everyone, so they sit in a half circle, and then the witnesses come in and talk to them. So I guess if you look on the Machal HaMikdash, they see this picture. This looks kind of circly, I guess. And that's the way the judges come in. They would sit around. They could all see one another. That makes sense. Okay. The two sofrim, the scribes of the judges, stand before them. One to the right and one to the left. And they write the words of the mizakim, those who exonerate, and those who want to obligate. Rashi, the Gahati explains that Rashi says that they both shnehem kotvim divrei mizakim, and they both wrote divrei mizakim and divrei mechayvim. They both wrote everything down. Where the Rambam says echad kotev divrei mechayvim, ve'echad kotev divrei mechayvim. Rambam says each one had a responsibility to write down one side of the case. Rabbi Yehuda says shlosha. There were three scribes. Echad kotev divrei mizakim. One writes the words of those who want to exonerate. Echad kotev divrei mechayvim. One writes down the words of those who want to be mechayev, obligate. V'ashlishi kotev divrei mizakim v'divrei mechayvim. And the third one writes both. Why? Because Rabbi Yehuda says you wanted to have shnei edim amazakin or shnei edim amachayvim. The Rabbi Yehuda says you want to have two. So it seems first of all that the Bartanura follows the Rambam's interpretation that each one would only write one. Okay, would write one, and then because now Rabbi Yehuda would say I want to have one write both, because the one writing both, one with it goes to the mizakin. Then you have two edim, two different versions of the mizakin, and you have two different versions of the mechayvin. So therefore, you make sure that you got it down exactly right if there are discrepancies between the way they wrote it down. Bartanura says, Ein alachak Rabbi Yehuda will only have two scribes and not three. Stop here and dedicate our learning in memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.